Your Honor. All rise. Season 3, Episode 3. Yes, sir. All clear. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone, and thank you once again for joining me today inside the Pennsylvania College Basketball Court, or the PCBC for short. This is Season 3, Episode 3 of this wonderful series here on YouTube. Seasons 1 and 2 can be found in my Instagram page. Link is in my bio. You can search me at the Honorable Judge Noah or search NWS 1999 into your search bar on YouTube, and you'll find this wonderful series. I am your host, the Honorable Judge Noah, reporting live from the main town and home base of the PCBC, Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. If you've enjoyed this series so far, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to this wonderful series discussing PSAC men's basketball. Today's episode originally was going to start off with the players that were remaining in the transfer portal that were finding new homes. Unfortunately, as I was filming this, I ended up losing all my information for it. So we're going to skip that. That was from the first episode where we had all the names of the players that were in the transfer portal. Now we don't have that. So we're going to just do two things today to make it simpler. In today's episode, we're going to be going over the standing predictions for the upcoming 2025-2026 season. I will show you how I break that down from my standpoint, and then we will go over the first four scheduled days of games that we're going to be going through. There's a lot of them to start off, but we'll get to them here in just momentarily. But without further ado, let's get this session underway. So here's where I have the standing predictions. So I started doing this last year. It was actually from an ASMR site I ended up watching. Shout out to ASMR Clem. He did it for the English Premier League for soccer. He would have his teams, and here I'm going to see if I can flip this. It's okay. So anyways, how he has it. Let me actually pull it up on my laptop here, is going through the standings. I'm going to show you on my laptop. So if you look at the standings, so I have a mid-season on the left and then the actual finish to the season on the right side. With that, for the first half of the season, I have my picks and predictions in terms of the standings, who I think will be where they sit in terms of the first half of the season. First half of the season will be from November 14th till they start division play. I believe that is on January 7th, 2026. And then from January 7th, 2026 to the end of the regular season, which is February 28th, 2026. That will be the second half of the season. So we'll go through the first half, give you my predictions in terms of the standings. If you see in green, that means I had the prediction correct for the actual first half of the season. And then if it was one position away, so let's say a team like Gannon last season, I had them predicted to be second in the West at the halfway point of the season. They were number 1. That would be in yellow because they were one position off. I would get 1 point. If I get it correct, 3 points. And in red means that was at least 2 positions off. For example, let me see here. IEP last year, we'll use them as an example. I had them 3rd in the West. They were actually 5th place at the halfway point last season, so they were 2 positions off. So in red, I get 0. You would get 0 points for that. So that's where it ends up going with my predictions. So I'm doing that again for this upcoming season. I have my predictions. Last year in the first half of the season, I ended up getting 8 points for the West and 9 points for the East. In the second half of the season, overall, I only got 4 points in the West. So I only got 1 prediction right, and then I was 1 position off. In the East, I only missed 2 positions that were actually 1 position off from each other. If I would have gotten that, I would have gotten all 27 possible points. So for the West, the number of points potentially earning is 24. In the East, it's 27 because in the West, there's only 8 schools. We talked about with part 2. Or episode 2, there were 5 episodes. or 5 parts. Parts 1 through 3 were the East, parts 4 and 5 are the West. So that's where we sit as of right now. So let's take a look at the standings. So I'm going to go based off of the PSAC. They just released their predictions in standings. This was yesterday, I believe. Yeah, they released it yesterday at around 11 a.m. They have the teams that they have projected for the overall season. Mine's going to be for the first half of the 2025-2026 season. And let's see how far we go so far with this. But we'll go give it our best shot for the first part of the season. So starting off in the West, in 8th place I have Penn West Clarion. That is actually where the PSAC agrees with me on that. They also have them in finishing dead last in the West. My reasons are because losing Cam Kearney is going to be the big reason why I have them in dead last. They have a lot of young talent this year, and it's just going to be very interesting to say the least. And then let's look at the preview for each of the teams. So again, last year they were 12-14 overall, 7-13 in conference play. They marked a 1-game increase in both overall and conference victories from the previous season. Key returners include Trey Nelson, Jeremy Thomas II, and Gavin Cote. Their first game is November 14th at the West Liberty tip-off. They face West Liberty, and then they'll face Wheeling on the 15th. Clarion opens conference play on December 6th, traveling to Millersville to take on the Marauders. 7th place, I have Penn West Edinburgh. PSAC actually has them ranked at number 6, so they have them still in the playoff hunt. Edinburgh lost a lot of talent, losing Sanker Everett and Steve Kelly, 2 guys that had PSAC experience, definitely doesn't help. So let's take a look at Edinburgh's, what they had written for Edinburgh. So last year they were 15-13 and overall and 11-9 in conference play. They finished 3rd in the West. They return Evan Berger, who had 27 starts as a freshman, averaging 10.5 points per game, and had 64 three-pointers, and senior Bryce Baez. They'll have 3 new starters for this upcoming season. Justin Jennings begins his 3rd season in charge of the Fighting Scots. Last year they improved from 7-21 in the 2023-2024 to 15-13 in 2025 last season. So, and ended up winning Coach of the Year as a result. In 6th place, I have Seton Hill. They have them. PSAC has them ranked number 5. Losing Ryan Mice definitely didn't help. For Seton Hill, they finished 16-14 overall last year, 8-12 in conference play. In the number 6 spot in the West, made it to the second round of the quarterfinals of the PSAC tournament last season. He led him to Ben Wilkins returns for his 4th season as coach. He's led the program to 3 straight 16-win seasons and 3 trips to the tournament. The team earned its first ever PSAC tournament win in the first round last year at Edinburgh. The team's rotation has 8 players who have spent at least 3 seasons with the program. Second-team All-PSAC West performer Kendrick Curtis leads the charge for Seton Hill this year. Last year averaged 14.5 points and 7 rebounds per game. Seton Hill opens the season in the Mountain East Conference / PSAC Challenge at Frostburg State. Their first game in PSAC West play is January 7th at California. Moving on, in 5th place, I have Pitt Johnstown. PSAC has them ranked number 7 in the West. So they have them missing the tournament for the 3rd straight year. The Mountain Cats returned 6 lettermen from a year ago, including 2nd and 3rd leading scorers Jay Rose and Baden Forup. UPJ will feature the largest incoming class in Bob Rugenvina's tenure with 9 true freshmen. UPJ finished last season 5th in the conference in points per game at 80.1, and they began their season just a couple days ago at Pitt, losing 102-65 against Pitt, the University of Pittsburgh, on October 27th. 4th place, I have Penn West California. They have them ranked. PSAC has them ranked 3rd. The Vulcans finished 2nd in the PSAC West standings last year and advanced to the semifinals, despite losing 3 starters before Thanksgiving due to season-ending injuries. Those were, of course, Bryson Lucas and Keith Palak III, just to name a couple of them. They finished 2nd in the league in 3 points per game and led the conference in fewest turnovers per game. However, the Vulcans will have to replace 2 of the top perimeter shooters in the league. and that included PSAC West Athlete of the Year, Don Whitehead Jr. and Cam Polak. California has won over 100 games over the last 5 years, making it the winningest streak in nearly 2 decades. The Vulcans have won at least one game in the PSAC tournament in each of the last 5 appearances. In third place, I have Slippery Rock. PSAC has them ranked 4th. SRU is coming off a season where they went 15-14 overall and 11-9 in the PSAC West on the way to qualifying for the tournament. Slippery Rock had won its final 4 games of the regular season before losing in a heartbreaker to IUP in the conference tournament's first round. Under the direction of 8th-year head coach Ian Grady, Slippery Rock will look to record its 8th consecutive winning season and 9th straight trip to the PSAC tournament. They returned 7 players from the roster, including Maciel Austin, Ike Herster, and Shaikh Samora. One of the top all-around talents in the PSAC West last year, Austin averaged 16.9 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.9 steals, and 0.9 blocks per game during his 2-year SRU career. Ike Herster is averaging 14.1 points per game last season, while Samara is arguably one of the best pure athletes in the PSAC West. They did bring in 2 talented transfer forwards in former East Coast Conference Rookie of the Year, Kerwin Prince, who recently played at Division I New Orleans, and Isaac James, who averaged 10.5 points and 5.7 rebounds a year ago at Salem, West Virginia. Their 4-man recruit freshman class has a chance to go up as one of the all-time school's best, highlighting a 3-time 3-star recruit in Dame Givner, a 3-time state champion RJ Sledge, and Ohio Prep standout Kent Hairston and Brady Mayo, who was Whitbeall's 2nd leading scorer a season ago. Number 2 and number 1 in the West are pretty easy picks. IUP, I have them at number 2. That's where the PSAC has them ranked. Last year, they were 14-16 overall, and they were 8-12 in conference play. They are coming off the only season in their history to have double-digit losses in conference play under Lombardi for the first time in his 19, now entering his 20th season as the coach of the Crimson Hawks. They returned pretty much all their starters their key guys from last season, including freshman of the year, reigning freshman of the year, Kamani Marrero. Second team All PSAC member Christian Moore, along with Marrero being second team All PSAC. Demir Brooks returns, Sark Fortune, Tyler Grove, and of course the return of the heart and soul of the Crimson Hawks in. Now I'm trying to think. I can't think. I blanked out for a second. Dallas Dillard. There we go. IUP opens its season in 2 weeks. Well, officially 9 days. I'm filming this on October 31st, but when this comes out, it'll be November 9th. So the first game is 9 days away at home. They'll have a 2-game home set at home. First on the 14th against Concord, and the 15th against Lincoln, Pennsylvania. PSAC conference play begins on Saturday, December 6th on the road at Keystone Arena and at Kutztown. And then number 1, this one should be no surprise. I have, until IUP can get on top of them, Gannon is the number 1, the team to beat in the West. Easton Mazzoli is in his 2nd season as coach, leading Gannon to a 27-7 record, a 2nd straight PSAC conference championship. Mazzoli was an assistant under Jordan Fee that led them to a 32-3 season just 2 years ago. They led the nation in scoring in 2 seasons ago in 2024, averaging over 100 points per game. The Knights dipped to a pedestrian 91 points per game. That was good for 7th overall in the entire country in Division II, and they scored 100 or more points in 7 games. They're ranked 2nd in the country in turnovers forced at 20.9, 3rd in steals at 11.8, 12th in turnover margin at 5.3, and 14th in assists per game at 17.4. They did lose Ernest Shelton to Merrimack and Tasman Goodrick to Siena, but Mazzoli brought in good use of the portal. He brought in a pair of twins from Sydney, Lucas and Mackenzie Morgan. They brought in, I'm trying to think who else they brought in. They brought in a couple other players. And then the question is, will Pace Prosser what will he do after his incredible freshman year? The 6'2" guard earned 2nd team All PSAC honors while starting all 34 games. He was their 3rd leading scorer and was 2nd in rebounding. In addition, he led the Golden Knights in assists at 151 and steals at 65, going 73 out of 178 from 3-point range, and was named the MVP of the PSAC tournament. So yeah, Gannon definitely is without question the favorites in the West and probably the favorites to win the PSAC title again for the third straight year, but we'll have to wait and see. Moving on to the East, if I can find them. So the PSAC, they had Clarion at 8, Pitt Johnstown 7, Edinburgh 6, Seton Hill at 5, Slippery Rock at 4. California earning 1 of 8 first place votes at 3rd. IUP finishing 2nd with 1 out of 8 first place votes. Gannon earning 6 of the final, earning 3/4 of the first place votes, of winning 6 out of 8 first place votes. In the East, 9th place, I have Bloomsburg, so does PSAC. 8th place, we both have Kutztown, PSAC, and my standings for midseason. And in 7th place, we both have Mansfield. 6th place, we have Lock Haven. Lock Haven. 5th place, we both have Shippensburg. 4th place, we have Shepherd. Top 3 is different. 3rd place, PSAC has Millersville. I have Westchester going number 3. 2nd place, we both have East Stroudsburg. PSAC giving 1 out of 9 votes to East Stroudsburg. And then PSAC has Westchester earning 8 out of 9 first place votes from the coaches. Westchester is going to be good again this year. I actually have them number 3. Number 1, I have Millersville. Again, their roster looks really good, especially adding Cesar Chilombo to the mix. I think it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. We'll have to wait and see where we will be midway through the season. So that's my standing predictions. So again, just a recap of them. 9th place in the East, Bloomsburg. 8th place, Kutztown. 7th place, Commonwealth University of Mansfield. 6th place, Commonwealth University of Lock Haven. 5th place, Shippensburg. 4th place, Shepherd. 3rd place, Westchester. 2nd place, East Stroudsburg. Number 1, Millersville. In the West, 8th place, Penn West Clarion. 7th, Penn West Edinburgh. 6th, Seton Hill. 5th, Pitt Johnstown. 4th, Penn West California. 3rd place, Slippery Rock. 2nd place, IUP. And number 1 is Gannon. So we will go through those. I will be referencing that again on right before the PSAC West and PSAC East division matchups begin rocking and rolling. So we will get back to that as the second half of the season goes. All right, with that being said, let's get to the final thing here real quick. Or actually, one thing before we get there. My PSAC award predictions. So I have a preseason, and then we'll go to a midseason, same time with my standings. PSAC West, Freshman of the Year. I have Marcel Finkley out of Pitt Johnstown. Last year's winner was, of course, Kamani Marrero, who from IEP. He became the 9th player in program history to win Freshman of the Year. Finkley just sounded like the best player in terms of freshman that we talked about in the previous video. Although his teammate could possibly win that award in Kalo. Athlete of the Year, right now, there's two like big names that are going to be for this award. A lot of people are going to say Pace Proser out of Gannon, and the other one is Kamani Marrero of IEP. I think he has a really good chance of taking down Pace Proser for this award. And then I don't really even know. For a wild card, I'm going to say Maceo Austin of Slippery Rock, maybe Jordan Buchanan are my wild cards right now. But I actually have Kamani Marrero winning this award, at least for the first half of the year. We'll see. Last year's winner was Donald Whitehead Jr. of Penn West, California. Coach of the Year, I have Easton Bazzoli. I have Joe Lombardi also in that mix. Wild card, I'm going to have Bob Rugavina of Pitt Johnstown. That's if Pitt Johnstown makes the playoffs this year. Last year's winner was Justin Jennings from Penn West Edinburgh. Then Defensive Player of the Year, I'm picking Demir Brooks, kind of just throwing a dart at the board. Last year's winner was Sanker Everett of Penn West Edinburgh. In the East, Freshman of the Year, I have a lot of hype on Adrian Brito, and that's who I'm picking for Freshman of the Year, at least for the first half of the season. Last year's winner was Evan Morton from East Stroudsburg. Athlete of the Year really comes down to 2 guys right now, and then you kind of could throw a wild card at Siraj Ali of Millersville. I'm going to go Marcus Frank from Shippensburg. The other big name I have on my list is Jalen Bryan out of Kutztown. Last year's winner was Drew Stover from Millersville. Coach of the Year, I have Casey Stitzel. If Millersville finishes in first, I have Casey Stitzel winning this award. Last year's winner was Damian Blair of Westchester. And in Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to have two names. Siraj Ali, I think, has a good chance. Or his teammate, Caesar Shalombo, could be a big name candidate for the Defensive Player of the Year award in the East. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, they're probably going to change halfway through the season. Now, let's get to the last thing I wanted to get to, and that is my picks and predictions for the upcoming 4 days that I have set for this episode. When I get to episode 4 with recapping, I'm planning to have that filmed on November 17th, right before 2 games are scheduled to be playing that night. There's supposed to be 2 games at 7 o'clock Eastern. Now, these are the times they have on the PSAC website. They are subject to change, but for right now, I'm just going by what they have. But again, it could change at any time between now and November 14th. So let's look here. So the first one is 2 days from now, coming up on this Friday. It is Mansfield traveling to Muncie, Indiana to take on Ball State. I don't know if this is an exhibition game or if it's a real game. Regardless, I'm counting it as a game. I'm going to pick Ball State to win this game. I think Ball State easily wins this game. I don't know anything about them other than that they're from the MAC and they're a D1 school, so I'm going to pick Ball State in that one. Moving on to the following Friday, so next Friday, November 14th, there are a ton of games to get to. We have, let me take a look here. $14 games for Friday. $16 games for Sunday, and 2 games, or Saturday, next Saturday, and then 2 games for next Sunday. So that is 33 games we're going to have to we'll be recapping on November 17th for episode 4. So if I'm working that day, depending on what happens with work, I'm planning to have that episode filmed and released by 1 p.m., hopefully. If I'm working that day, I'm going to hope to have that planned out and be done have it released by 5 p.m. But we'll wait and see. So the 4 games next Friday. So if, Edinboro at Salem. This is one of 2 games being played at Fairmont, West Virginia. So Edinboro, Salem, West Virginia, Fairmont State, and Bloomsburg make up the opening tip-off in Fairmont. Edinboro at Salem. I'm going to go Edinboro. Next, we got Lock Haven and Davis and Elkins. Their matchups in Slippery Rock. Teams will be Commonwealth University of Lock Haven, Davis and Elkins, Slippery Rock University, and West Virginia Wesleyan. Lock Haven at Davis and Elkins. I'm going to go Davis and Elkins on that matchup. Next one is Westchester, Fayetteville State. I'm going to go Westchester. The other 2 teams playing, that series will be played in Bowie, Maryland, so home of Bowie State. The other 2 teams will be Gannon and Bowie State, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Next games, East Stroudsburg and Winston-Salem State. These games will be played in Petersburg, Virginia, home to Virginia State. So East Stroudsburg and Winston-Salem State, I'm going to go East Stroudsburg. Pitt, Johnstown, and Lincoln, the first of 2 games at the IUP tip-off. The game will be played in Indiana, Pennsylvania at the Memorial Fieldhouse. Spoiler alert, it's very hot in there. There's no air conditioning, so this is going to be a really interesting weekend for these 4 teams. For the tip-off at IUP, it will be Pitt, Johnstown, Lincoln, PA, IUP, and Concord, West Virginia. So I'm going to go with, in that matchup between Pitt, Johnstown, and Lincoln, I'm going to go Pitt, Johnstown. 5:30 game at Millersville. Teams that are playing in Millersville are the Commonwealth University in Mansfield, the University of Charleston, Millersville, and Virginia Union. For that 5:30 game between VU and Millersville, I'm going to go with Millersville. Next at 5:30, so the second game in Fairmont, Bloomsburg taking on number 5th ranked Fairmont State. 3 teams out of the Atlantic region were start in the top 25. Fairmont State at number 5, West Liberty at 11. We'll talk about here in a minute, and then Gannon ranked 22, which we'll get to in a minute as well. Bloomsburg and Fairmont State. I'm going to go with Fairmont State. Next series, the 4 teams playing in West Liberty are Clarion, West Liberty, Penn West California, and Wheeling University. For the 6 o'clock game, it is Clarion at West Liberty. I'm going to go with West Liberty. The easy pick there. 7 o'clock game, the second game in Bowie for Friday night. Gannon at Bowie State. Easily, I'm going to pick Gannon on that one. The second game in Petersburg is Shepherd and Virginia State. I'm going to go with Virginia State. The second game in Slippery Rock on next Friday is West Virginia Wesleyan Slippery Rock. I'm going to go with SRU. The second game in Millersville, Mansfield at University of Charleston. I'm going to go with Charleston in that one. IUP, I normally would do a preview for both Concord and for the first two games of the season, but I'm not because of time purposes. We will do a preview, though, for both teams coming up the following week, which will be right before Thanksgiving, matchups against Ashland, Ohio, and DUville University. For IUP and Concord, I'm going to pick IUP. California and Wheeling, I'm going to go with California. Now, 2 games are still to be announced for November 15th. Penn West Edinburgh against Fairmont State, I'm going to pick Fairmont State. Mansfield and Virginia Union, I'm going to pick Virginia Union. Commonwealth University of Bloomsburg versus Salem, West Virginia, pretty much a pick'em game in that one. I'm going to go with Bloomsburg. The University of Charleston at Millersville, I'm going to pick Millersville. Lock Haven. Commonwealth University of Lock Haven against West Virginia Wesleyan. I'm going to pick Lock Haven. Westchester at Bowie State. I'm going to pick Westchester. Penn West Clarion against Wheeling. Another pick'em game. I'm going to pick Wheeling on that one. Gannon and Fayetteville State. I'm going to go with Gannon. Davis and Elkins and Slippery Rock. I'm going to pick Slippery Rock. Shepherd and Winston-Salem State. I'm going to pick, for this one, I'm going to pick Shepherd. Pitt Johnstown at Concord against Concord, West Virginia. I'm going to pick Concord. Shippensburg and Frostburg State. This is a series that begins on Saturday, the first of 2 games. So the series in Frostburg, Maryland is going to be Saturday, November 15th and Sunday, November 16th in Frostburg, Maryland. I'm going to pick Frostburg State over Shippensburg. 7 o'clock game, East Stroudsburg and Virginia State. I'm going to go with East Stroudsburg. That's going to be a good game. Lincoln, PA against IEP at 7:30. I'm going to go to IEP. California and West Liberty. This should be a good game. I am going to pick West Liberty to win now. And then the final game for Saturday night, Seton Hill at Bluefield State. Give me Big Blue, the second of 2 games in Frostburg that night. Then 2 games on November 16th. That'll be the second half of the tournament tip-off in Frostburg, Maryland. Shippensburg at Bluefield State. Give me an upset on that one. I'm going to go Shippensburg. And then Seton Hill at Frostburg State. I'm going to go with Frostburg State over Seton Hill in that one. So anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of the PCBC. I will see you guys on November 17th for the upcoming, for Season 3, Episode 4. Until then, I'm your host, the Honorable Judge Noah, reporting live from the main town and home base of the PCBC, Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, saying so long, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see where I'm at for my picks and predictions record on Monday, November 17th. Till then, have a great day.